everyone, welcome back to Mamta Nirval tutorial. And guys, in this video we're going to start a new chapter number 9, and the name of the chapter is the living organisms characteristics and their habitats. Okay, characteristics and habitat. What do you mean by all this? What is the habitat? The place where an organism live is known as its habitat. And what are the characteristics? The characteristics what a organism has adapted to live in that particular habitat is known as the organism characteristics. Okay, like if we take an example of Rishikesh. Okay, if you have went to an trip to Rishikesh, what you must have seen? Some mountains, and the climate will be cold. Okay, and trees, you must have seen some trees which are oak trees. They are not normal trees which are present in Delhi, in Haryana, or in Punjab, or in other states. No, there are some different kind of trees present, like oak trees, like pine trees. Okay, like deodar trees. All these are the plants present in the Rishikesh area. Okay, it's depend on its particular area. If we go to the Rajasthan, then Rajasthan, which animal you must have seen very often in the Rajasthan? That's the camel. Camel is the animal which you more oftenly see in the Rajasthan, and the plant is the cactus plant. Okay, why only cactus plant is more often and the camels? Because they have the ability to survive in that hot place, because the temperature is very hot and their body is has adapted themselves to according to this climate situation. So it's depend on the habitat, because the camel habitat and the cactus habitat is the hot place, the Rajasthan. So the camel or the cactus cannot live in the Rishikesh climate, like in the cold climate, because they are adopted or they are made of the things, or they have the characteristics which help them to live in a hot place, not in the cold place. Okay, similarly, if we take an example of a beach like Puri is a sea beach. So here there will be a humid place. On beach we face lot of humidity there, so there will be another kind of animals and plants will survive there, so that they can survive in that high amount of humidity. So we can say that the all of them had many organism, like all of these places have many organism, and each organism have a different kind. Okay, so we cannot say that there is any place in an on the earth where we cannot find any living organism. There is no place. Like even in the volcanoes, even in the open volcanoes, we can see lots of organism, like microorganisms can be present in the open volcanoes also, or in a hot springs. We can see some bacteria are present in here, they can live. The living organism we can see in the hot springs also. So we can say that in every place there is some organism, and that organism is adapted according to that place, like whatever requirement we need to have. If we need to live in a cold temperature, so we require a very high fur amount of ability, or we can say that if we talk about a human being, we require a proper jacket or anything to keep our body warm properly in the cold climate. But in the hot climate we require more water to drink and other things, so that we can survive in the hot climate. So it's depend on animal to animals, the which area the animal is living or the plant is living, and it depend on its habitat. Because of that they have modified their body according to that habitat. Okay, so what kind of a modification an animal required, we will focus on this in this chapter. Okay, so first we will talk about the organisms and the surrounding where they live. Okay, the surroundings. Like for example, if we have taken an example of desert, so what kind of animals are present in desert are the camels. You must have seen more oftenly the camels. In case of mountains, goats are more often you can see, or yak will be seen more oftenly in the mountains portion. Okay, if we take about the beach or puri, so there is the crabs you must have seen, or fishes are more often. So it depend on the place to place which kind of animals or plant are there surviving in that place. Okay, but one thing is the ants are present in everywhere, even in the desert, even in the mountain, even in the sea beach portion. So ant are the animals which can live or present in different locations also. Okay, so this is a very good example, but we can say that the microorganisms are also have the ability to live in more harsh conditions. Okay, so how we can adopt or how we can live in other situations, like habitat. Whatever our habitat, it's depend on our habitat, as well as the adaptations which we have made after living in that place, or generation to generation, how the organism has adapted themselves to live or survive in that habitat. Okay, for example, sea. If we take a sea example here, the plant and animals are surrounded with the saline or salty water. Saline, which is the salty water. They have that habitat, they have the ability to live in the salty water. Okay, most of them use as air, dissolved air. Okay, which air they use? Dissolved air in water they use. So they have adapted according to their habitat, because the fish, if we taking an example of fish, the habitat of fish is the water. Okay, and if we are talking about a sea fish, then that is the marine fish, so it require proper amount of salt also. If we keep the marine fish in a fresh water, then the fish will not survive, because the fish is made or have the ability to survive only in that place, in that habitat, so that they can easily absorb the dissolved oxygen from the water, as well as they have the property to survive in the salinity kind of area. If you put it in the fresh water, the osmosis or diffusion will take place, because of which the fish can even die. Okay, so it depend on the animal to animal and the place where they live. Like in sea, we have ample amount of water, but if we take an example of desert, so what is in desert? We have very lack or little water present in the desert, little water availability. Okay, but we cannot say that fish can live in a desert. Why? Because if we take out fish from the water, the fish will die. But there are animals which can live without water for 2 to 3 days without consuming any waters. Why? Because they are habitual to that climate. Okay, in desert there is the climate is very hot, like in daytime it is very hot, and in the night time it is very cold. So we need to make our bodies that much strong, so they can handle the hotness of the day, as well as handle the coldness of the night. Okay, so what kind of plant survive in the soil of the desert? Like camel is the animal which we mostly see, because they can have the ability to survive in hot days as well as the cold night. What kind of adaptation a camel has? Like they have long legs. Long legs help them to keep them away from the hot soil, or we can say hot sand, during the daytime. They have very long legs, so they can help them. So these are the legs, long legs. Okay, first adaptation. Okay, second adaptation is they excrete small amount of water. So as a urination, they use very less water during the excretion. Okay, or third thing is the dung is the dry. Okay, they used to produce dry dung so that they can absorb most of the water from the food, and the water should be conserved in the body and cannot go out of the body, so that they can survive for more days without drinking any water. Okay, so they do not sweat. So even in the excretion, in the dung production, and even the sweat, they can produce water loss from that body. To conserve that water, they use very less amount of water in the excretion. They make the dung as dry dung, and they do not sweat at all. So this is how they conserve all the waters which is already present in the animals. Okay, so this is how they can live without water for many days. Like for example, if we talk about the fish. Okay, so what kind of adaptation a fish has to survive in the water climate? So first is the streamlined body. The fish has a streamlined shape of a body which help them to move through the water, through water. Okay, second is the fin and the tail. The fins which are present around the fish, as well as the tail in the back, they give direction to the fish, so that the fish can follow a direction or can go to a direction which he or she need to go. Okay, or fin also help them to keep body balanced in the water. Okay, that's the function. Next is they cannot inhale directly the oxygen as like a camel. Camel has lungs and they directly inhale that oxygen, but fish need to absorb the dissolved oxygen in the water, so they require different kind of organ, which is gills. So gills are the organ which is used to use the oxygen, the dissolved oxygen of the water, so that they can fulfill the amount required by the fish. They fulfill the amount of oxygen required by the fish. Okay, so what are these all? These are the adaptations. Okay, these are the adaptation which a organism do to live in that place or that habitat. Okay, so what is the definition of the adaptation? The presence of specific features or certain habits which enable an organism to live naturally in a place. Okay, any place, any habitat we are talking. So the adaptation are the presence of specific features, whatever specific features our organism is having, or certain habits, or they have to follow some certain habits which enable an organism to live naturally, so that the animal can survive in that condition or live naturally in that place, are the adaptations. Okay, like fish cannot live without water and camel can live without water. Okay, so that's the adaptations. Okay, what are the habitat? The word is coming very often. So what is the habitat? Habitat is the place. It is the place where organism live. Okay, place to live. This is the habitat. It means the place which provide the place which provides food, water, air, shelter, and other needs. Whatever the needs a organism require to survive, if that need is fulfilled at that place is known as the habitat. And in common word, we can say that habitat is the home of that animal or of that organisms. Okay, so what kind of a habitat? We have two type of habitat. One is the terrestrial habitat, and other is the aquatic habitat. Okay, the plant and animals that live on land are called as they live in a terrestrial habitat. Okay, for example, like forest, the animals or plants which live in the forest are the terrestrial, they have the terrestrial habitat. Or we can say that the grasslands or deserts or coastal areas, or we can say mountain region. Any of this we can take an example, and the animals or plants which survive in any of these have a terrestrial habitat. In aquatic habitat, the animal and plant live in water, that then we can say that it have a aquatic habitat. For example, like lake, like the animals or plants live in rivers or in oceans. So these are the habitats which are present in our environment. Now our environment is made up of, or we can say that our habitat is made up of two component. One is the biotic component and other is the abiotic component. Okay, biotic component or abiotic components. What are they? The biotic components are the plant and animal live in a habitat, all the plants plus animals. Okay, or in short we can say that they all the living organism, all the living things are considered in the biotic component of that habitat. Okay, and what are the abiotic are the all the non-living things. All the non-living things are the abiotic component of that habitat, such as rocks, soil, air, water. They have a effect, all those have a effect on the biotic component, but still they are abiotic component of the habitat. Okay, the abiotic component are those component which are non-living, and biotic component are those component which are living things. Whatever living thing present in the habitat is considered in the under the biotic component. Now there is another concept. If you go from a plain area to a mountain area, you must have seen like you face some kind of a problems, like sickness kind of a problem, or you have problem in taking air into your lungs, so that you need to respire very often according to the mountain habitat. So your body is not according or not made up of so that you can directly go to the mountain and live like you are living in the plain area. No, you need some time to acclimatize in that area so that you will be normal to live in that mountain area. Okay, what that means? That means acclimatization. What is acclimatization? Okay, that means the changement, whatever the changes that take place in our body over a small time, overcome a small problems even in a very short period. Okay, that means we are doing changement, we are taking a changements. Actually this is a short period. Okay, so we are taking changement, we are doing changement in our body, but in a very short period, like within 1 or 2 days you will be acclimatized to live in the mountain area, or you can able to easily breathe in that atmosphere. Okay, but in the starting time you will face some kind of a problems. So this is known as the acclimatization. And what are the adaptation? Because adaptations are also the changement which our body do according to the place. So it take place over thousands of years. Okay, it take place over thousands of years, and the organism have adapted to the situations or adapted to that area. Okay, they adjust themselves according to them according to the plant or the organism which is living around there. Okay, so this is the adaptation require a very long time, and acclimatization require a very short time, and to in that short time we are solving very small problems. To overcome that small problem, we are changing, our body is getting changed. Like how we are changing? Like in the starting you need to respire very often, because in plain area we have very high amount of oxygen which is normally available to every person, so there is no problem. But when we go to the mountain, the high altitude area, here the oxygen level is little low, so we require to fulfill all the requirement according to our body. To fulfill that oxygen requirement, we require to respire very high, very oftenly we need to respire again and again. So after some time, what our body do, our body will generate red blood cells more often, more easily, or in more amount it start producing. Okay, so if we have more amount of red blood cells in our body, that means we can get more oxygen, and we can use that oxygen. So it requires sometimes 1 or 2 days to acclimatize in that area, but we are not adapted to that area. Adaptation require a very long time. Okay, these are the two important concepts which you need to be clear. And one more thing also, in adaptation it cannot take place in a short time, because it depend on the abiotic factor also. In abiotic factor, for that factors also need some time to change. So the abiotic factor also require slowly changement according to the environment. So the abiotic factor is also important, like abiotic factor like air, water, light, heat. What are they? These are the abiotic factor which is important for the growth of plants and animals which are living there. Okay, so if the abiotic factor are not prepared, because they also need to prepare, or they also need to change themselves to according to the adaptation of the plant and animals. So we are adapting according to the abiotic as well as biotic factors, they all are interlinked. So we can say that the adaptation require more time to change themselves. Okay, or sometime the adaptations can be those organisms which cannot able to adapt in that environment, they will die, and only those person will or those organism will stay who adapted or survive in those conditions. Okay, other will die. So adaptations are little bit different from the acclimatization. Now talk about a journey through different habitats. Okay, now talk about the different habitats which we have on our earth, and what habitats require what kind of a adaptation. Okay, so first of all we are taking some examples or some terrestrial habitat. The habitat which is present on the land are known as the terrestrial habitats. Okay, so first is in the terrestrial habitat, first is the desert. Okay, In the desert there are camels. We have already discussed about the adaptations of camels, the long legs, or he can survive for more than 2 to 3 days, or or even if with 1 week he can survive without water. Okay, so that adaptation we have already studied. Plants adaptations, there are some cactus has modified themselves, we have already studied about it also. But what about the rats or snakes which are present in there, how they can live? So they do not have any long legs. So how they can survive, they can protect themselves according to that hot day, how they can do that? So to survive in, they require to stay away from that heat. They stay in burrows. Okay, in the deep sand. What they make a pit in the deep sand, and that in that sand they live in the daytime. Okay, they do not come out on the surface, because if they come to the surface they will die because of that hot weather. Okay, after that, when the temperature will be low, or we can say that at night, they can come out and hunt, or you can say they can eat their food on the surface while coming on the surface. Similarly, plants have also adaptations, like this is a cactus plant. Okay, just take an example. This is a cactus plant, and this is a normal plant we are taking. Normal plant. Now we have tied a polythene around it. Here I have tied a polythene around it, and here also I have tied a polythene. Now due to this polythene, what happen if we put it in the sun? With the help of that sun, both the plants start producing their own food, that is photosynthesis process. So now because of the transpiration, the plant will produce or lose some of the water out. Okay, and that water we can see as a droplet on that polythene bags. Here we can see the droplets. But one thing is very important, that when you have tied a polythene around a cactus plant, there are only few drops, maybe 2 or 3 drops you can see. But in here you can see many droplets, because they are losing water very high, in a very high pace. But in cactus plant, he need to conserve that water, because there is lack of water in desert. So these are the adaptation. The cactus plant, the cactus will not lose water, or maybe it lose little bit of water only. Okay, through the transpiration process. Which process? Transpiration process. That's why we see only few droplets on the polythene bag. Okay, so this is the tie a polythene on it. Okay, and this lose more water due to a transpiration process. Okay, what else adaptation a cactus plant have to survive in the that harsh condition of the desert? Okay, so they have changed their leaves into spines. Okay, to reduce the water loss. They have this adaptation also they have made. Okay, so from where the photosynthesis process take place in the cactus plant, because we require leaves. Mostly the leaves has the portion, the chlorophyll, and those chlorophyll and sunlight and carbon dioxide and water, all those things mix together and perform the function which is photosynthesis process, and through this we can the plant can make food out of it. So from where a cactus plant do this photosynthesis, this is carried out by the stem of the cactus plant. Okay, normally the stem of the cactus plants, which is little waxy, they have a thick waxy layer on it. Okay, what this thick waxy layer do? It will retain some water. It will retain water into the tissue. So it will also help them to reduce the loss of that water. So all these are the adaptation which a normal plant as well as the animal do according to their habitat in which they are living. Okay, so and one more thing also, in plants the roots of the plants are very long. Okay, they are very long, they can go to a deep soil and can absorb the water over there. Okay, so the roots are also very long as compared to normal place or plain places. Okay, so all these are the adaptation which we can see in which habitat. This is the terrestrial habitat, which is first is the desert. Okay, next terrestrial habitat we are focused on is the mountain region. Second will be the mountain region. Okay, what kind of a this habitat are normally very cold. Okay, temperature must be cold because of the mountains and very windy. Okay, must be you have seen in the mountains like some area may have rainfall in the winter. Okay, so some area can also have snowfall in the winter. Okay, now plant adaptations. What are the adaptation of the plant adaptation? Okay, which they need to survive in the mountain region. So they need to be in cone shaped body. Okay, the body of the plant should be cone shaped, or we can say that sloping branch. Okay, these kind of adaptation you can see, like they have this kind of a structure. Okay, why this is the slopy branches present in the mountain area region, the trees of the mountain area? Because these slopy regions or these slopy branches will help them to help the rainwater as well as rainwater plus snow to slide off easily. Okay, snow to slide off easily. Like these are the adaptation of the plant which we can see in the mountain area. But there are some animals also which have the adaptation. Like animals, they have thick skins. Okay, or we can say they have furs on their body, and these fur or this thick skin will protect them from the cold climate. Okay, for example, if we talk about yak. Okay, yak has yak has long hairs to keep their body warm. Or if we talk about the snow leopard, the snow leopard is also very common in the mountain area, and they have thick fur on their body, as well as on the feet and toe, on in the snow leopard they have thick fur on the whole body as well as feet and toes, so that these feet and toes will be protected from the cold environment when they walk on the snow. Okay, so the protect this is all we can see it like in yak, in the snow leopard. And in mountain region we also see some goats also, and the goats also have some strong hooves which is present, so that these hooves will help them to run properly. Okay, so the running up in the rocky region or rocky slopes of the mountain, these hooves will help them to run properly. So the goats have strong hooves so that they can move easily in the mountain region. Similarly, snow leopard have thick fur even on the feet and toes, so that they can protect themselves from the cold climate. Yak also have long hair to protect themselves from the cold climate. Okay, thick skin and fur, these are the adaptations of animals which they used to do to survive in a cold climate like mountain region. Okay, third terrestrial habitat can be grassland. Okay, in the grassland, like in an example, there is a lion. Okay, what kind of adaptation a lion has? A lion has long claws. Okay, so there is not a temperature problem, that's not a problem, but they need to eat food, and according to that food habitat, the grassland animals and plants have changed themselves. Like lion has long claws, so that in front leg, okay, where it is present in the front legs, and what they help, these long claws will help them to hunt or kill the animals or prey. Okay, so to fulfill their food need, the lion needs long claws, so that it will easy for them to hunt and kill the animals. Similarly, one more adaptation a lion has, that it has a light brown color. Okay, that color will help them to hide in the field area. Like this is the plant field area, and that field area, the plants are also in light brown in color, and similarly the same color is of the lion also. So this will help to hide them from in the dry grassland, in the dry grassland, so that they can hunt their prey easily. Okay, without noticing by the prey. Okay, so this is how the animals can adapt themselves according to the environment. And what are the prey? The animals which the animal eat, or we can say that the animals which a lion is eating, that is the prey. Okay, what else? Animals like deer is the prey which predators like lion eat. So what kind of a adaptation a deer has to survive in the grassland? Like strong teeth. They have strong teeth to hard chew hard plant stems. Okay, because their habitat, because deer are herbivorous, they eat only plants, so they require a very strong teeth, so that they can chew the hard portion of the stems also. Okay, what else? Long ears. They have long ears to hear movement of the predators like lion. Okay, the predators are the animals like lions, which make them as their prey. Okay, so long ears also help them in the protection, as well as they have eyes on the sides. Okay, on the outer side they have the eyes, and these eyes will allow to look in all direction. Why they need to look for all direction? To look for the danger or any predator, if they are coming or not. Okay, so that's why there is another adaptation, the eyes are in the side portion. And last is the speed. Because of the speed of the deer, it can help them to run away from the danger, or the run away from the predators. Okay, so this is how they can survive in that condition, predators. This is how the animals can live in the grassland area. Okay, so this all about in this chapter, like all about the terrestrial habitat. We will focus on the aquatic habitat in the next video. So thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you understand this concept. If you like my videos, please give a thumbs up and subscribe my channel. And thank you guys for watching this video.